Right, and there are also reports that an oil storage site was hit in Tehran and it's still burning. We've seen the visuals with toxic smoke making the air almost unbreathable. What is the situation in the capital and how serious is this crisis right now?
Actually, I'm now in the capital. I'm based in Tehran, in the central west region of the Tehran. Yeah, the problem that happened two last evenings created a lot of environmental problem for the residents of the Tehran. But at the same time, based on the changes in the environment and the climate, particularly we had some rains yesterday and last evening, the situation is much more better right now. But at the end of the day, it's the nature of the Israel. You know, the Israelis has been committed to genocide for last 2 years, and they are very much committing genocide everywhere. Is their end game. So they are using every instruments that they could to make life intolerable for Iranians. And most recently, they have done it for Palestinians, for Lebanese, for Syrians, and for Persian Gulf countries like Doha. So they are going to do that for most of the countries in the region because they are thinking of greater Israel. That means occupying the large proportion of the lands of the most sovereign countries in the region. So that's the nature of the Israel: expansionism, eliminationism, and genocidal.
Right. I hear you, Dr. Mamia. Now, talking about the new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, the country's security chief has said that the new leader was capable of guiding Iran through the current sensitive moment, and the Revolutionary Guards have also declared that they are ready to follow him. How do you assess leading the country in this war situation, and how do you assess Mojtaba Khamenei at this point in time when this is right after a period of decentralization of power? How do you see Mojtaba Khamenei going ahead and leading in this war situation? All right, we will be getting back to our guests. We have some technical problem. We'll be getting back. Of course, this comes as the West Asia war have now exploded further, and the Trump administration has been facing this one question, or that is over its objectives. Meanwhile, a former U.S. Secretary of State has now claimed that Israel had previously tried to pressure President Obama to launch military strikes on Iran. Now, these are just latest updates that we're getting in. Meanwhile, on the ground, Israeli military has detected missiles launched from Iran towards its territory. Dr. Mamia, if you could just hear me, I would like to just repeat my question. We were talking about Mojtaba Khamenei, who is now the new supreme leader. How do you assess him as a leader right now, and at a point where after the death of Ali Khamenei, there seems to be a decentralization of power in IRGC, and Mojtaba Khamenei is someone who is supposed to be very close to the IRGC. How are you assessing Mojtaba Khamenei's leadership in the situation of war right now?
Actually, I would like to say that most of the most important thing is not the selection of a person, is that the political process is working and functioning. So there was a very security concern behind that would make a political process a deadlock. But at the moment, by announcement of Mojtaba Khamenei as the new supreme leader of Iran, it seems that the political institutions are working and functioning. So it's the most important thing. Secondly, he has been, to some extent, behind the scene because of the lifestyle of the late supreme leader, that he was very much keen to keep his family and his relatives out of the political scene, out of the any public appearances. But everyone that has been in charge with the policy making in Iran knows that he has been very much involved in advising his father and being involved in very important sensitive cases, security and military and also political cases. So he's very much familiar with the political process inside Iran. But as I said, the most important thing with regards to the selection of the supreme leader by the Council of Expediency is that the political process needs to be working and it's going to have a certainty over the political system. And I would say that even in last few days, there was no decentralization. There was no out of hierarchy. Everything was based on some very well calculated hierarchical alternatives. So without supreme leader, there was a constitutional council in charge of leading the country, and it was a very, very important test for the political institutions in Iran, that it was working very well in last few days. It was out of my personal expectation that even without supreme leader, while losing a lot of more important commanders in chief, we have had no such a disruption, neither in military operation nor in normal life of the country and the daily life of the citizens. So it was a very good proof of the functioning of the institutional establishment in Iran. So everyone are going to support the new leader, whether or not we happy or not happy with this selection. But the most important is that country needs to back to normal in terms of the political institution and hierarchy.
Right, and because you just mentioned that we're happy or not, because we've seen visuals of, of course, a lot of people supported Mojtaba Khamenei being elected, but on the other hand, we had seen some visuals of protest as well. And the fact that this comes at a time when, when the revolution happened in 1979, it was against the dynastic rule. Do you think that somehow has become a point of contention in the election of Mojtaba Khamenei? Because clearly he is the son of Ali Khamenei. How is that being taken in Iran?
As I said, always in any selection, you have someone that are supporting, someone not supporting. But now is the matter of the national security. So everyone needs to come together and to find a way to move beyond such kind of the aggression on the country that we have been imposed by Israelis and Americans. At the same time, I think the change in the generation of the leadership in Iran is going to be an opportunity also to have a much more inclusive political system, to have more younger generation involved in policy making and the running of the country, and to move beyond such kind of the political disagreements and to some extent polarization that we had experienced in the last few years. Again, for a country as big and as diversified as Iran, it won't be possible to have a very unified kind of the political landscape. Otherwise, there would be a lot of disagreements. But at the end of the day, I think generational shift in Iranian leadership would be an opportunity also for reviving socio-political cohesion and inclusiveness in Iran.
All right, of course, we'll have to wait and see how we see any more developments coming in. But thank you so much, Dr. Imamia, for joining us on the broadcast and giving your opinions. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.